Hello and welcome back to our channel, iConcept Sports. Today's video is about the comparison between 2023 BMW X7 and Mercedes-Benz GLS class. Fundamentally, both the BMW X7 and the Mercedes-Benz GLS class aim to do very similar things. Both are theoretically the SUV-shaped alternatives to the respective brands' flagship sedans, the 7 Series and S-Class, respectively. Each of these German SUVs looks to coddle their occupants, up to 7 of them, in seas of technology, leather, and gorgeous lighting. And each of them aims to do it in the best way possible, with a dash of sportiness thrown in. But on paper, how do they stack up? Before we continue, please let us know what you think about this review in the comments section below, and we would appreciate your support by subscribing to our channel. This helps us bring more content to our viewers. We bring accurate information and we hope you can appreciate that. Exterior, clean versus cluttered. Sure, looks are subjective, but at the risk of setting a bomb off in the comments, we'll come right out and say it, the Mercedes-Benz GLS is the prettier car. Call it a new design language, but BMW's big grilles aren't doing their vehicles any favors in our book. We can't imagine the optional illuminated grille will help much. The nose of the GLS is simply more attractive. Despite its equally large maw, it is far better executed. As for the rest of the cars, where BMW goes hard and angular, Mercedes sticks to a far more flowing design. Your preference between the two is up to you, but we do like the more consistent flow of the Merc. Both cars offer large panoramic sunroofs and LED headlights, with BMW now option to split the DRLs into a separate unit compared to Merc's more traditional in-cluster DRLs. Merc's luxury SUV is larger in nearly every respect, save for width, the BMW is 1.7 inches wider. However, the BMW's bulldog stance makes itself most apparent in wheel size, with 21-inch wheels and tires all around to the Merc standard 20-inch items. Various options can be applied to either with larger wheels and sportier appearances, but the Merc looks more cohesive. Interior design, 3 rows of luxury. Both the X7 and GLS class seat 7 occupants in 3 rows in one of the most serene, luxurious experiences those 7 can get. With internal dimensions remaining largely unchanged for the X7, the third row is a little cramped, but then again, so is the GLS in this regard. Both have access to similar amenities across all 3 rows, including seat heating for all outboard positions, while those in the front 2 rows get ventilation. Multiple zone climate control is also to be expected at this level. Second row captain's chairs reduce seating to 6 in both cases but aid flexibility and comfort. The X7's cargo volumes are unlikely to change much, ranging from 12.8 cubic feet behind the third row to 90.4 cubes behind the first row. The Merc is better in the former regard with 17.4 cubic feet but fails at the latter end of things at 84.7 cubes maximum storage. Where the two are surprisingly similar is in their reliance on screens to dominate the design department. Both rely on a massive landscape display array housing 2 screens. Ahead of the driver, the instrumentation display measures 12.3 inches in both SUVs, but BMW center screen measures 14.9 inches to the GLS 12.3 inches. BMW's iDrive 8 powers things in the X7 while MBUX is standard in the Merc. iDrive feels more familiar, but MBUX works smoother once you're used to it. Either way, these two are remarkably similar. In both, you get a slew of standard and optional tech amenities that lift the overall appeal, such as large head-up displays, augmented reality navigation, etc., but the BMW takes the cake with a personal eSIM. By linking to your BMW profile on your mobile device, all of your preferences move with you from vehicle to vehicle through a fully connected 5G network. Mercedes doesn't have such functionality. Both are ultra-luxurious, but we feel the BMW may have elevated its tech above that of the GLS. Enough to edge out its rival in the interior section. Power and performance, M-Power from BMW wins out. Again, the similarities here are uncanny, with both the base GLS and X7 using 3.0-liter turbocharged inline-six engines with the aid of a mild hybrid system. Mercedes claims outputs of 362 horsepower and 369 foot-pound of torque, while BMW's X7 xDrive 40i has up to 375 horsepower and 383 foot-pound of torque. In a straight sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour, the X7 takes 5.6 seconds while the GLS takes 5.9. BMW. Up at the top of the range, the X7 M60i channels the brand's M division with a 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8 and mild hybrid system cranking out 523 horsepower and 553 foot-pound of torque, enough for it to hit 60 miles per hour in 4.5 seconds. While Mercedes has struggled with supply chain issues hampering availability, the GLS 580's 4.0-liter V8 can only muster 483 horsepower and 516 foot-pound of torque for a 5.2 second for the 0 to 60 miles per hour. Both SUVs use standard all-wheel drive systems, with Mercedes employing a 9-speed automatic gearbox to BMW's 8-speed. The Merc unit is super smooth, but history tells us BMW's is quicker and more intuitive when it comes to performance. Now this will conclude our review from today. Thank you for listening to this information, and we would love to see you come back to our channel.